What's good, y'all? We're just anime people. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and go listen to the full audios on all podcast streaming platforms right now.
Welcome to another episode of Just Anime People. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You all are far too kind. I'm your host, Robin. Oh, thank you. I missed y'all too. I missed y'all too. Y'all are the sweetest fans in the world. And we also have here with me Mrs.
Nana.
Yes, ma'am. And we have in the audience our Mrs. Ayan, aka 24, aka Lucky, aka Mrs. Many Husbands. Welcome, 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 welcome. So, which
So
anime
we're gonna go into the nitty gritty. I'm gonna take control of today's episode.
go crazy?
First off, I want to push blame on our dear
Don't
host,
you fucking start.
Robin, for having
Hmm.
us disappear from the anime scene just because he doesn't want to watch anime anymore.
Is that right?
That is right. But I wanted to say, I feel as though we're moving into the fall, and fall 2024 has been very, very generous,
That's a
right?
stretch, but keep going.
Well, you don't think so?
Everything sucks except Bleach.
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
so.
I'll give
Like,
that down. Oh, how do you pronounce it? I like that too. Yeah, I
I don't
like
know how
that
to
too.
pronounce. I like messing with it.
Hmm.
But I do. What the fuck is going on? Sorry. I do like that one. I like the other one that I like was the this thing evasive samurai, the elusive samurai, which is not
Hmm.
quite fall, but it was like almost towards the summer end of summer kind of anime, which you
Hmm.
still haven't watched. It's that they gave us that, and then there's the elusive the what else are we watching right now? You don't like God Tower of God, which let's get into it. Why can't you watch Tower of God?
That's the thing about animation for me. When something is changed from its manga, well, or something is picked from the manga and displayed in animation form, I really love when animators are creative with how they put out their anime. In Tower of God, I feel like that's one of the reasons why its fandom has waited 10 years for the season two. Because that animation till this day, I haven't seen nothing like it. Bro, it literally every time I try to talk to people about like if there was a way to bring back the olden day animes, like you know how everybody loves Akira and loves the what's that shit called, the Studio Ghibli animes and all those olden days, they were very bright and colored, but because of how like far it was in the past, it still kind of looked a little bit low quality. Well, and I wouldn't even say low quality. You know how like there's different type of HD. You know how you can watch something in 420 or 720 or 1000 type shit. You hear
Mm-hmm.
me? Bad. I feel like Tower of God brought back that old school animation, but turned the 420 HP to like 1000 to where it's like it's bright. It has all the color and it's popping. The other people that is doing that right now, the One Piece animation is through the roof. They've taken their animation to the next level. The colors are bright. The story is perfect. They've really transcended their animation, and that's why One Piece is still number one and still getting 9.2s, 9.3s every week because they stick to that. But I feel like for Tower of God to go in such a beautiful direction that they were going into, for them to just turn their anime, made it look like it's fucking Seven Deadly Sins. Like what the fuck? How you go from that to now your animation looks like Seven Deadly Sins? Even though it's still the same story, the fact that they did that right in the midst of a time skip, It's too much, and it throws it off for me. It makes it hard for me to want to get back into the story as much as I love Tower of God. You remember how much I love Tower of God?
I'm just gonna say this, and I've come to realize that recently the anime community has become way too picky. I'm just going to say this. It's like you guys have been fed with animation, so now you can bitch and moan. Because if, let's take when everyone started watching anime, graphics were not all that, and we still watched it for the storyline. Where has that gone to? Where you would stop watching something completely, almost like you're throwing a tantrum because the graphics isn't to your liking. Who the
The
fuck are
same
you?
reason why people don't want to watch Berserk anime and they'll rather just read it. We're allowed to
People
have
watch it. People, no, people who love the storyline still watch it.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
my
after
point,
you
though.
go back. That's after we went back and read the whole thing. So like we've already read it, so we're content to see this low
And
quality anime.
I'll give you that too. Then why don't you read it? Because if you really are a fan of it and you really like it as much as you're saying, then why aren't you reading it?
Oh, that's pretty much what's gonna happen. Honestly, I'm waiting for season 2 to finish for you so that I can read it because you know me, I'm annoying. I don't want to be,
Hmm.
oh, Erica, this happened, That's really all it is. I'm
Let's be
definitely
honest, because you and I have had this conversation, and you don't like the pace at which it's going. You find it a bit boring. It's not. This is my
Erica. I
first time
promise you,
that you are really talking about the graphics this much. I kid you not, because when I asked you and Mina, none of you guys had mentioned the graphics.
we
It's
didn't
quite
mention the
slow.
graphics.
I kid you not. We can
Erica, is
ask
this really
Mina
what you're
after
about to
this.
go with right
I
now?
swear, David. Yes, I am.
Erica, this thing that I just said about how they changed the animation and how I love the season 1 animation. This is your first time hearing me say
David,
that?
it was not the reason why you stopped watching it, though.
I gave all of the reasons though. I said it was the animation mixed with the fact that it happened right at the start of a time skip. It makes it hard to want to keep on with the story. That doesn't mean I appreciate the Tower of God story. I'm still gonna end up going back to read it. Just like Blue Lock. I hate Blue Lock's animation right now. Ain't no way in hell I'm not gonna find out what happens with the boys. You feel me? I mean,
Hmm.
you know that for a fact. Even though I might not finish watching this Blue Lock season, I am definitely reading it. That's a fact.
Mm, okay.
hmm Lavelle got me dead. He said, "Rob, if you shit on Tyra, got us up." Free said, "Bad take. One Piece looks like niggas threw up on the screen. Damn, you don't like the way Garp has been fucking shit up with all the colors? Erica, how do you feel about what he just said?"
I mean, I do agree, and that's why, like, you guys have damn near anime recently. Damn near looks like cartoons, especially One Piece. It looks like you're watching something that you used to watch on cartoon. It's too childish to me nowadays. I'm not even gonna lie. So I don't know what exactly do you guys want?
And that's why,
Anime
Erica,
has
that's
always had
truly
graphics that has been somewhat different from other animated stuff. The more they keep doing stuff, the more it just looks like cartoons, except you're reading subtitles on cartoons.
Erica, that's why I don't feel like I'm as picky as you say. Because to me, my one critique is to stick to your own creativity. I feel like the place anime is in right now, everybody's trying to find that next. You remember when Demon Slayer came and came how they was coming in that movie with that movie that sold $1 billion? That was the start of it. And then for them to follow it up in that next season with Tanjiro versus that Hashira brother and sister, remember how crazy we all went for that? Everybody's trying to take their animation into the next level, and I do agree with you. They, even though you're in the experimental phase, you shouldn't just put out all your experiments. That's why I'm kind of proud that One Piece is taking their 6 month hiatus right now. Don't just put out all your experiments. But I do like the fact that everybody is experimenting, because that's how you're gonna take this shit to the next level. Yeah, we all hate this cartoon thing they tried to do, but let's see who can perfect the next style. Or what do you think?
I don't know. Like, Lavelle, you feel me? Like, I blame Mappa and I do blame anime fans because I feel as though, because let's take the last season of JJK, right? What
hmm
was my reason for not watching it? It just looked like blobs of ink on the screen, and you guys swore the animation was the best. I mean, there are certain parts, if you just paused and you looked at the facial features or the crispness of the art, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And you guys still swore it was the best. So for me, hearing you guys say that about JJK, when I know I'm not big on that because I still haven't noticed most of the differences you guys have noticed, unless like it's glaringly obvious, like the way, what's it called? Tokyo Revengers was when it first came, how the
Hmm.
animation was very obvious that it was really off. I don't really notice stuff like that. So to go from that, and you guys were okay with that, heck, even you loved it. You watched it multiple times, you loved it. So to go from loving something like that to saying you don't really appreciate something else's art, I think that's hard
Oh,
on you. Because I'm like,
Erica.
what the fuck are you saying?
Erica, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Freeze took the words out of my mouth. No homo, bro. Art is literally perspective. So what looks good to you will look good to someone else. I'm glad you said that.
Hmm.
So let me say this as well. Erica, do you feel like, have you ever seen art pieces that are so beautiful and they go for millions of dollars, and the artist will tell you that that art was incomplete? He didn't even finish the art, but he felt like it was perfect that way. Do you feel like that is a thing, or do you feel like everything has to be complete?
I don't know shit about art. I'm the same person who will never be caught dead in an art
That's
gallery
what I'm
watching
saying.
art.
This is
So
it.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but I'm going to tell you this, right? If someone puts out art and even the artist themselves is saying, this was not my best work, I kind of half-assed it. It makes me look at you, the art person that appreciated that half baked thing differently. Because in your case, Dave, and I blamed you for that shit. Because even JJK, when those episodes came out, even came out later and said they rushed through it. So I'm like, okay, you guys would just eat anything. You guys appreciated it, even though they themselves are saying it's half baked. So it's not about perspective or anything. Art, every artist has what they are trying to sell out to you. And if the artists themselves are telling you what we were trying to sell out to you, we kind of fell short on it. Why are you so happy with it? Like, why are you so appreciative of something that the person themselves are saying, we kind of rushed through this. We
No,
only
but
had a couple of days to do it and we pumped it out.
I'm not gonna lie. You're still helping my point because it's perspective. For
How
me,
is it perspective?
the reason why I love the season 2 of JJK, especially the Moraga versus Sukuna fight, was for all of the elements put together. The fact that these guys were being overworked and on a time crunch and all that, plus wanting to put it out on their own. They put their blood, sweat, and tears into that episode. You can literally feel it. You can literally feel it, how much work that they put into it. That was the beauty in that episode to me. Yes, it was incomplete. Yes, you can go find a new Blu-ray version. But to me, I will always love that first version because you see the struggle between Sukuna and Moraga versus the struggle between the people that is drawing it. It was all of that for me. That's really why I fucked with it. It was so much emotion with the characters and the people that did it, and that's like why I loved it so much.
I'm not gonna lie, you just sound like a One Piece fan to me right now.
That's
I'm
fine.
not gonna lie. I'm like, what are we even saying?
He said Sukuna versus Jogo look better. I love that fight as well. The one fight to me that really just bothered me was Toji and Megami. That was just out of there. I couldn't take it. Like I was taking screenshots. The bunnies was looking half drawn. That was ridiculous. But nigga said I sound like a One Piece fan. There you go. Cause think about it, most of the art that people loved in the world, the nigga would tell you, "Oh, I was starving, I was on my last check, this and that. Oh, I found, and I didn't even have no painting board. I found this piece of wood outside by where I was crying all day, and you feel me? It's all the things that comes behind that story. It's not just what you feel me. I'm
I get
not
what
just
you're saying, but
yeah.
I also know there's a different side to art. For instance, most of the artists that are revered nowadays had to be dead or had to sell some sort of tragedy before people could appreciate the art. It's not the art that is selling; it's the story that sells. But I'm saying, just looking at it, and there was an experiment that was actually proven where this person just draws a banana, right? And then says it was Banksy that drew this banana, right? And
Mm-hmm.
everyone was like, oh, this, and people were willing to pay a lot for this art just because they thought it was a Banksy art. It was just a fucking banana that some amateur, some he's not even an artist. He just sat down and just drew, and it took them to places. They were invited to places that they should never have been in just because of the name that went with it. So for me, a skeptical person that doesn't even appreciate art to begin with, I'm like, it's a smoke show. There's no
Not all
real
art. The art can be
substance
an
to
illusion.
it.
You're right, but not all of it. Like
I mean, again, so we're giving each other a bit of a leeway because I'm taking you at a very extreme form, is why I'm saying it in a very extreme form. Yeah,
the
you are
JJ King
right. There
thing,
are certain
I just
things.
told you is not the same as that person making smoke and mirrors. Them, you know for a fact that map people are getting overworked.
I get that. And what was my argument with you? Me, I love anime in every form. I would watch it for days. Do you get what I'm saying? Which
Hmm.
means if you're already given me, I've waited years for certain animes just to see the continuation of the story, not necessarily the art. Just continue with the story. Do you know what I mean? If
Uh-huh.
you have fans that are that dedicated to you, it's an insult to rush through it. Why don't you just take your time? Might as well to pump out something that would be glorious. That's what it is. And if you keep excusing it and accepting it in its half baked form, then accept every other thing in its half baked form. Because if you're going to excuse it, oh, okay, yeah, we like the story so much, we are okay with you just giving us half baked stuff, then why should they put any effort to anything? I kind of lost my train of thought in the middle of my sentence right
I get
now.
what you're saying.
But
I,
I'm
I
like, my whole point is not just every story that is told behind something should just be accepted, and not every piece of shit that is given to us should be, oh, you know what, they really were struggling, so we accept it. I mean, I don't have those standards. Give me a good story and I will follow you for life. I don't care about the graphics as much,
yeah,
particularly.
but that's why I keep going back to perspective though, because I completely understand your perspective. But from my point of view, for me, I see things as a marriage, and not every marriage works. The marriage between the way those mapper artists were drawing and what that fight came out to be, it was amazing, and it won so many awards. The awards speak for it. It was, you feel me?
The awards
It-
don't. Because if you're going based on a Crunchyroll award, we've already established that it's flawed. You have 6 days to
hey, don't do
vote.
that.
No, it's true. You have 6 days to vote, and some people don't even know that you should be voting all 6 days. You have it's all about which people are dedicated to a particular fandom in order to keep voting for it. So I'm sorry, I'm not even giving you that with the votes.
No,
Because there are
you
even
right.
categories that were there are even animes that are like High Dive has animes. There are animes that are only on Nine Anime or other websites that don't even come into the award. So for you to even say that, I'm like, you've lost me. Award, particularly when it comes to award, when it comes to anime, means shit. I'm sorry,
That's a fair take.
but I'm just being hard on you. You know that, right? I don't really give a fuck.
Girl, you good? You good? That's what I'm saying. That to me, I really think it's a perspective thing because at the end of the day, all of us watch animes for different reasons, you know.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
and that's why to me it's like, and that's why I keep saying the marriage thing because it's to me it's whoever can perfectly appease to all their worlds that care about them, you know.
Yeah,
But
I get that. But I'm kind of old school in the fact that I don't believe that everyone needs to have like everyone's opinion really matters in the sense
oh my,
because that's the excuse everyone gives. Like even if it's not the right, it's like, oh, but it's my opinion, oh, but it's my perspective. It's like, okay, when once you put that into an argument, then there's no reason to even argue because while you're arguing, I can't argue your perspective and I can't argue your opinion. At that point, there can't be any conversation had other than me just saying, oh, okay, that just ends the conversation basically. Well, as soon as you say, it's my perspective, it's my opinion, that's it. It's like almost like saying, well, shut up. There's nothing that can be said again because I can't argue your perspective and I can't argue your opinion, can I? I feel as though that's like a very like easy cop out to a dialogue. It's my perspective.
I mean, not really, because we didn't talk over each other. You got to say your
No,
complete
no, no, no.
point.
Dude, I'm really just messing with you
I
for the sake
know,
of dialogue.
Erica. Why do you keep doing that?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
progressing.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure we're on a
Oh
good page.
God, I'm literally just progressing the conversation. The
Got
the
you.
reason why it is not like an end of dialogue, because we're still talking about anime. You got to say your complete piece, and I got to
Hmm.
say mine. So if there are people who are listening, they can understand how you're feeling, and they can hear what I'm saying, and it could give them a whole new perspective. That's why
Yeah.
it's not always a bad thing. Yes, sometimes people can use that as like a negative thing to end the topic, but I don't even see it as that way, because honestly, what else can we say besides that? You
Yeah.
said you don't really care about uh, like the art in that type of way and stuff like that. You just want it perfect, and that's
No,
fair.
I like the storyline, and I like for instance, my whole reason why I can't read Berserk or watch Vinland or Attack on Titan, I find it very monochromatic. I don't think it has a lot of color to it, and I like flamboyancy in my art.
Mm,
Which, so as long as you're giving me elements of flamboyant nodes, which usually comes from having some blues and some yellow and
mhm.
green, like pops of color in there, I'm happy. Like it doesn't take much for me. I just need pops of color, something flamboyant, and you have me. Art wise, story wise is a different case. Like if your story doesn't hold water, like you're not getting me
Mhm.
to watch past it. But I feel as though, and you remember I had just finished watching Tower of God right before the second season came because I wanted to be fresh on it. And I
Uh-huh.
told you what I said. I was like, I really don't even see what you guys are talking about. It looks pretty much the same to me. I didn't see a difference in the art. I thought it started slower, and if I was riding on the same like energy of where season one ended, I would be a little bit disappointed. But it's something that I loved in season one and waited this long for. And I don't read manga, I don't read manhwa, I don't read anything. So if I don't get into it, I would never see the end of it, kind of thing. So
Makes sense.
I kind of, I really, I'm liking the progression of where it's going. It was slow. I wasn't expecting a time skip. I guess maybe people who read it knew there was going to be a time skip. I didn't know there was, so it was like it was an adjustment period. Nonetheless, I like how they are slowly unraveling the story and then bringing back characters that we saw from season one, and we're like, where are these people? Because they started season two basically with new faces, except for Bam, right?
Mhm.
So for them to slowly bring in Kun and bring in, oh, I've forgotten her name. Like the other girls and the
Rachel.
lizard girl, like Rachel, like how they're slowly bringing everyone back and putting the story together. I'm kind of really enjoying it.